Hey guys, it is Felicia Banks, your FC Tucker Realtor, and you know what today is? Today is Felicia's Favorites on Friday. This is the time that I offer an extended service to my clients as well as my Facebook family, where I share with you a couple of my personal favorite things. And I have literally been having a blast. You are not going to believe me when I say I am really enjoying doing this. I really and truly am. Number one is because I get to go out and I get to meet so many new people. I also get to go out and talk to the owners of the stores that I've been visiting and learning a lot about them. I picked up some clients and it's been a win-win for everyone. So I really have been enjoying this. And I cannot thank you guys enough for your support, for watching the videos, for sharing the videos, for calling me up and giving me even more support about the videos. I really do appreciate all of that. All right. So I am actually in my car right now, starting out from my car, because if you've been outside today, the wind is like crazy and I didn't want to have to wrestle and fight around with the wind or anything like that. So I'm starting out in my car with you guys today. And I'm also happy to announce that today is the 8th anniversary. So this is the 8th week I've actually been doing Felicia's Favorites on Friday. And again, thank you for your support and all of that. And I want you to remember, first and foremost, this is a service that I extend to my clients, an added service that I extend to my clients as well as the Facebook family. But the number one thing that I want to do for you is help you to either buy a home, sell a home, build a home. Let's do all of the above, okay? So if you are in need of a realtor, or if you know someone who is in need of a realtor, please, by all means, reach out to me, either through Messenger, or you can send me a text message, or you can send me or give me a call at 317-502-6261. I would love to be of service to you. And speaking of service, one of the reasons why I'm really enjoying this whole Felicia's Favorites on Friday is the fact that not only do the stores that I'm visiting actually have something that I love, whether it's their bundt cakes, whether it's their coffee, their smoothies, their clothes, whatever. I also love what they stand for. And I love the fact that every place that I've gone to so far, one of the things that they have caught my attention on is the fact they provide service beyond the call of duty. And that's one of the things that I pride my personal business in, is I like to give my clients a service that goes beyond the call of duty. So that's why I like going out and kind of giving these people a little bit of support to let them know, yes, I see you, you're doing it the right way. All right. So that's one of the reasons too. But the place that we're going to be visiting today is absolutely no different. I love coming in here, and my husband loves coming in here, because when you go in, A, it's a family-owned business, and B, they give you that personal attention that we all like to receive. They're very knowledgeable on their product, and they are very personable, and they're very friendly and very professional, and we love that. So that's one of the reasons why we love coming to this place. But before I tell you about it, I want to tell you this before we go inside. I kind of struggled just a little bit, wondering if this was a place that I wanted to feature as one of my favorites. But then I thought, one of the things that I like about me is the fact that I am an open book for the most part. I like for people to know exactly who I am, where I'm coming from, what I like, what I don't like, so on and so forth, which is the reason why I do Felicia's Favorites on Friday. So one thing that you may or may not know about me is already you've discovered with the past weeks, I love me some sweets. I love bundt cakes. I love the smoothies. I love chai from the well. I love all of those things. But I also am that girl that likes an occasional glass of wine. I typically lean towards the Moscatos or the sweeter wines. I also am that girl that likes to lay by the poolside and vacation with a little drink with an umbrella in it. And I will pretty much, sip on that pretty much all day long. But that is who I am. I want to be an open book. I want you to know that drinking is not necessarily bad. It's the times that we choose to drink irresponsibly and then put ourselves and the lives of other people in danger. So first and foremost, also, I want you to know that one of my favorite things is the MAD organization, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, because they have a strong and passionate mission that they are trying to get out there to people that You know, anyone's life who gets taken by a drunk driver is 100% preventable. All right, guys, if you want to go out and have a good time, by all means, go out and have a good time. As a matter of fact, call me. I'll go have a good time with you. However, we have to make sure that we know our boundaries, and we have to make sure that we are not crossing over that boundary and putting ourselves in danger or putting somebody else on the road in danger, okay? We have to make sure that we are doing it responsibly. All right, so if you go out and you find that, you know what, I kind of towed the line and I crossed the line, then by all means, we've got Uber, we've got Lyft, we even still have cabs out there. And if you aren't comfortable getting into a car with someone that's a complete stranger, then I talked to my husband. Now that's a big if you happen to know me and if you happen to know my husband and you find yourself out there, guys, and you have crossed that line and you want someone who knows you to come by and pick you up without judgment, if you know us, give us a call, because number one thing, we want you to be safe, and we want you to be safe as well as everybody else on the road. All right, so without judgment, give us a call. Now, I hope you know that if I come pick you up, you're obligated now to use me as your realtor whenever you're ready to either buy a house or sell a house. But by all means, and all jokes aside, guys, have a good time. Life is made to have a good time, so live it in the fullest, but just make sure that everything that we do has a boundary. All right, I love you, and I just want to make sure that you're safe. Okay, with all that being said, this week's Felicia's favorite is, drum roll please, it is called Mr. G's. Mr. G's is at 2209 East Connor Street in Noblesville, Indiana. Again, that's 2209 East Connor Street in Noblesville, Indiana. And again, one of the reasons why we love going to this place is they're just very knowledgeable. They know you by name. You feel like you're walking into Cheers, because when you walk through the door, they know you by name, and they're very knowledgeable, very professional. And they've been around, I believe it's a family-owned business. They've been around for, I want to say, since the 70s or so. So the guy we're going to go in and talk to today, his name is Brian, and I believe he's got George in there helping him out today. But again, it is a good time. So I'm having them talk to us about, what do we need to do, because the summer months are actually coming. I can feel it. Summer months are coming, and you're going to want to go out and have those parties on the patio or on the deck or what have you. So he's going to talk to us a little bit about really fun, fruity drinks that we can make. He's going to talk to us about different wines. He's going to talk to us about different supplies and stuff that we need to have our party be the absolute best that it can be. All right. So without further ado, I'm going to get out of my car because I'm beginning to sweat. We're going to go inside and we're going to talk to Brian. But again, first and foremost, guys, remember me and know me as your realtor. My name is Felicia Banks. I am with FC Tucker, the best broker in the entire world. And I would love to help you either buy, sell, build, all of the above, a house next time you're ready. All right. But in the meantime, I want you to share in all of Felicia's favorites. All right. So I am going to turn this camera around, and I'm going to meet some of the people. Hello. Uh-oh, I caught you eating.
You caught me eating.
All right.
We had to edit that part.
That's right. Yeah, so we are at Mr. G's, and I just wanted to introduce you guys to, it's George, correct? I'm sorry. What is your name?
David.
Who is George?
You got to tell me.
See? Okay, this is David, you guys.
Good
David,
to meet you.
All right, how long have you been here at Mr. G's?
Well, since I turned 21.
Oh, really? Okay.
Off and on here for
So just last
82.
year, huh?
Yeah, 1982.
Okay, alrighty. So apparently you love what you do.
What's that, 36 years?
Wow.
Probably the second, third most senior person in the store.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
All right, and this is Brian.
Mr. G.
This is
That's
Mr.
what they
G.
know me as.
Right, so this is a family-owned business,
Absolutely.
correct? Okay, so you guys, how are you related?
We're cousins.
They're cousins. Okay, awesome. All right, we're ready for the grand tour.
But only if you hold on 1 second while
Okay.
I go and tell this customer one thing that he was looking for that I don't have.
Oh, okay.
May I?
You surely can. You surely
I'll let
can.
Dave talk.
All right.
Let me put my food away here and,
Okay.
get all of that.
All righty. I'm going to start calling you George.
I run in, David, George.
David, George.
Don't call me late for dinner.
Hey, David Cage, I see you watching. Hi, Danielle.
I'm sorry?
There's people watching you, so say hello to Danielle and David.
Danielle and David. David's a great name.
It is.
David.
And so is George.
George is cool. I know a couple of Georges I'm cool with, but anyway.
All right, so 30-something years you've been at the
36
store.
years.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's
Off
amazing.
and on.
Okay.
Off and on.
Okay,
But
awesome.
I'm like that utility guy. You got to call me up in the ninth inning.
Okay, there you
So,
go.
There you go.
There you go.
you
Always
go.
need that support.
Try to support the family.
Very good.
All these years.
Very, very good. Well, we thank you for all of your help and all of your service here in the store.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He's always
All
here
right.
when I need him.
There we go.
This
That's
is-
what family's for, right?
This is a good job.
There we go. There we go. Okay.
Well, Felicia, what if I take you on a little tour of the store?
Okay, sounds good.
And kind of show you what we have here.
Okay.
And then you can stop me anywhere along the way and
Okay.
ask me about anything.
All right. Perfect. Perfect.
We'll
Perfect.
start at the back and work our way forward.
That works.
Hey, Kurt. Don't leave.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
This is a big store.
Yes, it's about 5,000 square feet.
Okay.
Most of that is retail area, but we have a storage room in the back.
Okay.
So yeah, we've gone from probably our first store in 1978
Uh-huh.
when my father and his brother, who's now my partner, or I'm his partner,
Uh-huh.
started the store when they had probably less than 1,000 square feet
Wow.
to this store. So we've grown up a little bit.
Okay, just a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Awesome.
So we are like most package stores. We have beer,
Uh-huh.
we have wine, we have spirits, we have liqueurs and other things all the things you need to make a lot of cocktails.
Okay.
So I'll kind of show you each department and what
Okay.
we have, and that way your customers will get a good idea of why this is the best place in Noblesville to
Absolutely.
shop. Okay.
Absolutely. Hey,
So-
Stacy.
So back here we have obviously our beer area.
Uh-huh.
I think we have 18 doors.
Okay.
So we have all of your national brand beers like Budweiser and Miller Lite and
Right.
Coors Light.
Right.
And then we have lots of craft beers. We're probably the #1 destination here in Noblesville for craft beer.
Okay.
So I'll show you some of those things that we have in that area as well.
Okay. All right.
Let me push it out of the way.
Yeah, I just dropped my. See, he's a gentleman too. He picked up my key for me.
Okay.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Sorry for putting my back to you.
Oh no, you're fine. Hey,
so-
Amber.
So anyway, so a lot of these we sell beer warm, we sell it cold.
Okay.
We have lots of craft beer kind of starting right. If you start right here, your ciders, Mexican beers, and then do you know microbrews? So these are your smaller breweries throughout Indiana, the Midwest, and all over the country really.
Okay.
As long as they have distribution in the state of Indiana, we have a lot of them, and a lot of our customers that just love craft beer come here just to shop and see what's new every week.
Gotcha. Okay.
We probably have 10 to 15 new beers every week.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Wow.
A lot.
Wow.
So then we've got the other usual suspects like Sierra Nevada, New Belgium, Blue Moon. Again, beers that you find everywhere. And then over here we have a great selection of beers just from Indiana.
Oh, okay.
We really try to support local. So we have Central State Brewing, which is out of Indianapolis, Beer Brewery, Flat 12, those are all Indianapolis breweries. Upland from Bloomington, Sun King, everybody knows them from Indianapolis. Evil Czech, which is out of Indianapolis. And then a lot of breweries from up north, as well as down south.
Okay.
And if we could get all of them in the cooler, we would. So a lot of them you'll find on our shelves here. So we put a lot of our new releases over here. We have a lot of imported beers, Belgians. Belgians are very popular. So some of these beers here that made by the Belgian monks, the Trappist monks. So Duvel, these Roqueforts. All of these beers are from Belgium, and then these are sort of Belgium-inspired beers. So they're made in the U.S., but in a Belgian style. And then we have a singles program. So let's say you're sort of new to craft beer, and you don't want to commit to buying a whole 6-pack. We have a lot of beers that you can buy a single bottle and mix and match your own 6-packs. Or on the Bombers, mix and match 3. And allow you to try things that maybe you don't want to commit to buying a whole bunch.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. Then we have mead. So these are wines that are beers that are they're meads, not really
Okay.
beers. They're made from honey.
Okay.
Okay, those are also very popular. And then ciders, obviously made from apples, pears, pineapples, but they're ciders. And there, a lot of people nowadays have grain allergies, wheat allergies.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
these ciders and things
Okay.
are really good for them.
Awesome. Hey, Dana Brown.
Over here, we have our cognacs, tequilas, and then gins, as well as all these liqueurs. Again, all the things that are sort of your dessert.
Okay.
For dessert cocktails.
Gotcha.
And the ever-growing list, and I'll show you some cocktails that can be made with these. Your Camparis, they call them bitters, is what they call them.
Yeah, okay.
These are very popular in cocktails now, particularly if you go to any of the cocktail bars in Indianapolis. You'll see lots of recipes made with Campari, Aperol, Fernet, those kinds of things.
Okay.
And over here we kind of begin our wine section.
It's a huge wine section.
You know, so we have everything from, you know, your $5 everyday drinkers all the way up to $250 really special bottles of things like the Robert Mondavi's. I can't think of it now, but I'll show it to you.
Okay, awesome.
Pinot Noirs, Pinot Grigios, Sauvignon Blanc, you name it, we probably have something in that varietal of wine, and depends on how much you want to spend. We can
Gotcha.
we've got something for you.
Gotcha. Me, guys, you heard what he said. He said, whatever you want to spend. Same with you. If you're going to buy a house, whatever you want to spend, make sure you give me a call because I am your realtor. All right. Now, here is one of the things that he has set up for us that I am so excited about because he didn't have to do this. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. That personalized service. They go beyond the call of duty. So I'm going to let him talk to you about what he has on his tray.
Got a good shot of the tray here.
Yeah.
We as Felicia just said, I mean, one of the things that we strive to do is always provide superior service. We're not the biggest store in the central Indiana area, but we pride ourselves on knowing our products and helping you find what you're looking for and only spend what you want to spend. But I just came out with a suggestion since it's finally spring.
Right.
And you know, we're all thinking about what the things we might want to enjoy while we sit on our deck. So I just pulled out a bunch of stuff. Now, unfortunately, I don't have all the fresh fruits and things like that you need to make some of these things that I'm talking about. But I'll pick up some of this stuff and kind of show it to you. And then when you come in here to visit me, just after you make your big real estate deal with Felicia,
Right. I like the way you think.
you know, and you want to go out and celebrate your new purchase or sale, I can show you how to do some of these things.
Awesome.
So
I'm excited.
let's start with something on the lighter side, and we'll work our way to something that maybe is a little more, little bigger, if you will.
Awesome.
Okay. So one thing I would say is if you no, I'll hold these if you don't mind. If you like to entertain, you need to make sure you've got all the things that you need at your bar. Okay. And a lot of times people come in here in a hurry because they're like, oh gosh, I want to have people over and I don't have this. So make sure you have a strainer. Okay. Make sure you have, this is a double jigger. Okay. For measuring things. Make sure you have a press. So if you've got lemons and limes where you need to squeeze out the juice, because everything is better when you use fresh ingredients rather than when you use the syrups and things that are that make it easy. They just don't taste as good. And there's a lot less sugar when you're doing it, you know, using the fruit rather than the stuff that's already packaged for you. You need a muddler. We were discussing this a little earlier.
Yeah, I didn't know what a muddler was.
So if you're making drinks that like have fresh mint, basil, things like that, you put the basil, the mint in your glass. Okay, and then you muddle it. Okay, so you squeeze. You want to get the essence of that mint or that basil or whatever it is out. Sometimes it's the lemon, whatever it is. You just muddle it a little bit. Don't smash it, but it gets the juices and the oils and things out of the rind into your glass. So you want to have one of those. And then I think it's always important to make sure you have the right glasses. So if you're making martinis or you're making even if you were making a bourbon or rye Manhattan, these are nice glasses to put your drink in. Obviously, if Uncle Joe's over and he breaks everything, these are crystal, so don't give those to him.
Right. You give him the solo cup.
Exactly. Another popular drink right now, the Moscow Mule.
Yeah.
You got to have a copper cup. Proper cup.
Why is that? Why copper?
I can't really answer how that got started. I just know that when you go to a bar and you order a Moscow Mule, especially a nicer bar, you're going to get served a Moscow Mule in a copper cup.
Okay.
So
you heard it here, guys.
that's the best reason I can give you.
That works.
And then you obviously always want to have a shaker.
Okay.
I prefer the metal shakers, but these work too. They're plastic. By the time your ice cubes beat against that for a while, they it's plastic, they do crack. But you get your nice metal shaker, you're going to spend $15 to $20. But they're also, something you want to have at your bar as well.
Okay.
So in terms of a couple of drinks that you might want to consider this time of year, again, I wish I had the fresh fruits to go with it. But we'll have to
we'll improvise.
Use our imagination.
Right, absolutely.
And I tried to focus here on liquors, spirits, and things that are made in Indiana. Okay, so I picked brands that I could that are made here locally.
Okay.
So we'll start with vodka from Starlight Distillery. They're down in southern Indiana. They're also the people that make Huber wines, but they're making bourbons, they're making vodkas, gins. They make a lot, and as most of you probably can relate to, Indiana-made products do really well in our store.
Okay, awesome.
So one thing that you might have is a mojito, right? I was talking about using that muddler. So you get some vodka, you go to the market, get some fresh mint. Okay, you put the fresh mint in your glass, or I'm sorry, in the shaker. Okay, and then you muddle it. You put in some ice. You put in some what they call bar sugar, bar syrup. So it's a liquefied sugar is basically what it is. And then you shake it with ice, and then strain that cocktail into your glass, and then put a mint sprig in your glass, and it's a great refreshing cocktail in the summertime.
All right, awesome.
But if you like mint, it's very minty. Okay. The next one I wanted to show you is I had to write some of these down.
That's awesome. I know I'm going to get questions. Well, what did you say?
You can do the same thing on the mojito. That was what I showed you was like a vodka mojito. Another thing to do is make traditionally it's a rum based drink. So this is tiki rum. This is a white rum made at Cardinal Spirits down in Bloomington, Indiana. Again, all their products are really good, very high quality, and make great cocktails. So you would do the same thing that I just described using rum rather than using vodka. A Moscow Mule. I mentioned this cup here. Okay. So again, what you do, you shaker. You're going to get some what they call ginger beer. Okay, so that's a non-alcoholic beer. And you're going to add some fresh lime juice. So I would recommend you go and get fresh limes and squeeze your lime juice into your shaker, and then put in the vodka and put in the ginger beer. Again, shake it, put it in your glass, and then garnish it however you want. Usually they garnish it with like a fresh lime. Okay. All right. Again, it's one of those things. You like ginger, you'll love it. If you don't like ginger, probably not your cocktail. Let's see, what else do I have here? I thought maybe you would like to make some classic cocktails. Classic cocktails are really in now. Classic cocktails are like Manhattans, Old Fashions, Negronis, and there's a lot more than that. But a Negroni is made with gin. Okay. So this is Hotel Tango, which is it's a distillery owned by veterans in Indianapolis.
Really?
Yeah, and they've got a tasting room and a restaurant downtown Indianapolis, and their house cocktail or their house Negroni. You use this gin, and then you need Campari. Okay. So this is a bitter liqueur from Italy. There's a combination of herbs and botanicals that go into these. and they're bitter. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So people kind of will make it to taste how much bitterness you like. But a classic Negroni would have 1 ounce of Campari, 1 ounce of gin, and then 1 ounce of sweet vermouth. Okay, so this is a Martini and Rossi. This is their special reserve. This is a very high quality vermouth from Italy. So you do equal parts of those 3 things, and then you garnish that with an orange slice.
Okay.
Okay.
And tell me the name of it again.
It's called a Negroni.
A Negroni.
Negroni.
Okay.
Okay. Now you can always do the simple gin and tonic in the summertime. And that's simply just gin, some tonic water, and a slice or a little twist of lemon or lime in your glass. And you can't get any simpler cocktail than that.
Okay.
But
now, is the Negroni sweet?
Again, you've got this Campari. It's going to give it the bitterness.
Right?
Yeah. And then these herbal. The herbs in a gin. Every gin is different kind of botanicals. I wouldn't call it sweet. Very refreshing.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And that's what we need for the summer.
Yeah.
Okay.
The next one I have is kind of the perfect Manhattan. So this will be for the guys on the video here. A classic Manhattan. You'd use a rye whiskey. So this is a Rittenhouse rye. It's a 100 proof. This is a rye that's been around for 150 years probably.
Wow.
They've been making this. It's a great value. It's less than $30.
Okay.
And you'll find this in a lot of bars where they have a nice whiskey list. They'll often use this in their house Manhattans.
Okay.
But a Manhattan would have the perfect Manhattan would have the sweet vermouth I showed you a little earlier, and then dry vermouth, kind of half and half. Okay, with the vermouth, with the rye, and then you would put in a dash of orange bitters.
Okay, you were talking to me about the bitters earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
So again, these are this is what just gives a little bit of that bitterness to a cocktail. But some people like a lot, but normally it's just a little hit.
Okay.
That's all you put in it.
Okay.
And then you start off by probably putting in the bottom of your glass. Yeah, these Bada Bing cherries.
Okay. Honey, those are the cherries, Nate, that I was telling you about at the Yard House.
Yeah, you'll never use a maraschino cherry again.
You are right.
Once you use something like that,
yes,
it'll be one of those things where like a 3 olive martini, you'll need a 3 olive Manhattan or a 3 cherry Manhattan. Yeah, they're really good.
They are good.
The kids get into these, and there's no alcohol in them. Kids love these. They're delicious. Yeah. So that's the perfect Manhattan.
Okay.
And what makes it why they call it the perfect Manhattan is it's part dry gin or dry vermouth and sweet vermouth.
Okay. So you get the best of all worlds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then something that I think people who like Moscatos are ever popular these days. In our wine category, it's probably tops.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the Moscato made at Oliver Winery down in Bloomington. And they do a great job with this. So you take something like this, and you get some lemon lime soda, little 7-Up, okay? And then get like 4 or 5 strawberries. Just slice them in half, and then put the Moscato, the 7-Up, and the fresh fruit in there, and and put it in like a tall wine glass. Gives you a nice Moscato cocktail. So a different way to drink Moscato.
Okay.
That's another thing to do. And then there's also staying with the bubblies. Proseccos are very popular these days. So this is La Marca. It's one of the top Proseccos that we have. It's around $15. A way people will drink this sometimes is with like the Campari. Okay. So you'll put a little bit of the Campari in the glass and then pour the chilled Prosecco over it. And again, it just gives a little bit of bitterness to the drink.
Okay.
And that's just called a Campari and Prosecco. It probably has a name, but
okay.
Let's see what else we have here. let's see.
You see one? I see one. Something familiar.
Oh yes, here,
the
this one
Saint
here.
Germain.
Saint Germain, yeah,
they
yeah.
got the Saint Germain.
Yeah.
That's one of our favorites.
So this is made with elderflower flowers as a substitute for your Sunday morning mimosa. Get your sparkling wine, so you can use a prosecco or you can use any sparkling wine. Don't get one that's too sweet. Get one that's toward the drier side.
Yeah.
And substitute orange juice. Substitute the Saint Germain.
Oh, okay.
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 And it's similar to a mimosa. Again, it probably has a name. I don't know what they call it.
Okay. A friend of ours, Becky, introduced us to Saint Germain. It's
Yeah.
very, very tasty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got someone on here asking for wine.
Okay.
Gregory Walton, what kind of wine? We'll let him keep going. If you send me a
Well,
message,
those are kind of some of the cocktails that I had in mind. I'll show you some of the other things that might be fun for some that are a lot simpler to get into.
Okay.
Obviously, there's a lot more work here, but
Yeah.
it's more fun to make your own cocktails and to, like I said, to get fresh ingredients. We do sell mixers here, but it's never as good as making your own. It obviously costs a lot more and takes a lot more time.
Okay.
You know, to make the cocktails the way I'm describing them. And if anybody wants these recipes, I've got them on my computer.
Okay, awesome.
And I'll at the end I'll tell you how you can email me, and I'll be happy to
Gotcha.
to share those with you, or through
Gotcha,
Felicia
gotcha,
share
gotcha.
them with you. So the wine question is.
Well, you know what? Then he said, I'm not sure. Are you asking for different wines, Greg? Red, white, and blue.
Red, white, and blue. You know what? As a matter of fact, it was supposed to be here today, but the driver broke it on the truck. They now have a blue Moscato.
Oh,
But I think it's coloring. But you were asking me about those bottles up here. I'll show it to you.
Yeah. Greg, you are a mess.
So yeah, he asked for blue. He's going to get blue.
He's going to get blue.
So this is Yolanda, Villa Yolanda Moscato. So I have a strawberry. There's your red. I have a coconut. There's your white.
I want to try that.
Okay. And then right now I have the peach, but they were supposed to deliver a truck today. It's called the blue.
Is it blueberry?
No, it's coloring.
Okay, gotcha.
But it's to give you the red, white, and blue effect.
Okay.
So if he wants a blue wine,
You got it.
I got it. Otherwise, what I can give him is a blue bottle, but it's going to be a white or a red wine.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But we have all kinds of wines. So these are some of the wines that we have that are your higher rated wines.
Right.
But Cabernets, Rosés. This is what I really like to drink this time of year. I just got this one in this week from Gerard Bertrand. This is a Grenache Syrah Cinsault rosé. These are dry rosés. So a lot of people look at the blush and think that it's going to be sweet because they think of the old white Zinfandel wines.
Okay.
These are dry rosés, but these are perfect on a hot summer day.
Awesome.
Okay.
Okay.
This one here I don't have up on the shelf yet. Just came in today. Now this is a rosé. It's called Pamplune. This has been, they've added some grapefruit juice to this rosé. Now my wine salesman tells me this is blowing up in Indianapolis.
Okay.
So I got my case in today. I don't have it up on the
it's
shelf.
Pamplune.
That's what it's
Okay.
called. Yeah.
See, you saw it here first.
Yep.
You saw it here first
Yep.
on Felicia's favorite. Okay, couple more because I don't want to take up too much of your time.
Okay. And then
This is awesome.
so over here, these are what
Yeah.
this is what we would call our finer wines. Over here, we have France, Spain, Italy. We have red blends. We have white blends. We have Chardonnays, Zinfandels, Cabernets, Merlots, Sauvignon Blanc, Riesling.
Yeah.
You name it.
Okay.
If they make it, we have something like it. We may not have your brand because there are many wine brands out
Absolutely.
there, but we will have something that I guarantee you will like.
Okay. Asking where I am. I am at Mr. G's. Can you give us the address real quick?
The address is 2209 East Connor Street. So we are about 200-300 yards past Highway 37. If you know the east side of Noblesville, on Connor Street or Highway 32.
Okay.
So we're in the old part of Noblesville.
Okay.
Pretty easy to find though,
Okay.
on Connor Street, and we've been in this neighborhood for 40 years.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so a lot.
That's
If you're familiar with
amazing.
Noblesville, you'll know where we are. But Noblesville is can also be sometimes a little tough, difficult town to get around to.
Awesome.
You know,
Okay.
so.
Last thing, because he actually taught me something. Take us towards the ice wines, because I told you guys I like sweet, and I knew the story behind the ice wines, but he told me about the late harvest wines, and I know that sometimes I go to Cooper Hawk. Nate and I go to Cooper Hawk, and they have a way of transitioning your palate. So if you want to go from sweet to a drier wine, maybe he can tell us how we're going to do that. But we're going to start with the ice wines because they're awesome.
Yeah. Ice wines, essentially what they're doing is they're letting these grapes hang on the vines and they freeze and they get botrytis, so they actually get a fungus. But most of the water evaporates out of the grapes, so you're left with a higher sugar concentration. So it takes a lot of grapes to get enough juice to make these wines, and that's why they're so expensive. Just the amount that you need in order to make them. They tend to be a little higher in alcohol. These are the perfect wines to drink after your meal with something, your dessert. Okay. Now, a lot of times, if you just have like a shortbread biscuit or a very simple cream tart or something like that, something that's not too sweet. This gives you that sugar rush you're looking for, and it goes with it. So this is a French Sauterne, and that comes from the region of Sauterne in France. But it's like an ice wine. Like this one's from Niagara Falls area, and in the U.S. they call them an ice wine. Okay. This is a similar thing. It's an ice Riesling. And then what we call these other late harvest wines, like a Malbec and a Chardonnay. So if you have a sweeter palate, these are not quite as viscous as these wines are. These are great too for people that just like sweeter wines.
Okay, gotcha.
And then you can always do ports. These are fortified wines, but they have tawny ports, ruby ports, vintage ports. These are, again, things that you sort of would just sit out on your patio with your cigar and enjoy something like that. And if you don't smoke cigars, you can drink them also.
Now, is there a way to, if you are desiring to change your palate from the sweeter wines to the drier wines, is there a method to do that?
I think it's a mindset.
Oh, okay.
It's like you're saying to yourself, I'm ready to change.
Okay.
But what a lot of people do is they will transition from so Moscato might be the first wine they drink. Then they'll drink an off-dry Riesling, so one that's slightly sweet. Then they might try a Riesling that's a little drier, and they start to find that they like this. Now I always say that if you don't think you like it, those drier wines are really great with food. So go online and find a wine that pairs well with a food that pairs well with that wine, because wine and food are meant to go together. So if you have a German Riesling, try something that might be a food that they would eat in Germany with that Riesling. You'll find out why these things go well together. If you like spaghetti, get a nice Chianti from Italy and see. You may say, oh, that's too dry. There's too much acidity. But with a beef ragu sauce, you might say, "Oh, this tastes really good together." So you kind of start to move your way from those sweeter wines into sometimes what they call these wines like Apothic and Menage a Trois. These are highly extracted red wines that don't have a lot of tannins. They're easy to drink. There's a lot of fruit, and people sort of think they're sweet, but they're not. They're just they just have a lot of fruit
in them.
And then they move slowly into the drier wines. And I've had many customers who have takes them 2 or 3 years who've transitioned from to where now they're like, and my sister's a good example. She really doesn't care for the sweet wines anymore.
Right. Okay.
And there's a lot of calories, period, but there's probably less calories in
the dryer.
Probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we cannot thank you enough for your time.
Well,
you went
you.
beyond the call of duty. Tell them where you are one more time.
Okay, Mr. G's, 2209 East Connor Street, Noblesville. You can find us on social media. We're on Facebook. We're also on Twitter and Instagram. Mr. G's Liquors with an S on the end. Look us up, follow us, and more importantly, come in and see us, and we'll be glad to help you fill all your needs.
Okay, all righty, and then tell them who is their realtor.
Felicia Banks. Is there any other realtor?
Right. Thank
Felicia
you so
Banks.
Thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. So there we have it. It came straight from Mr. G himself right here at Mr. G's Liquors, and that is 2209 East Connor Street. All right. Again, First and foremost, I am here to serve you as your realtor. If you want to sell, buy, or build, or all of the above, please give me a ring, 317-502-6261. And remember that talk that we had when I was out in my car, guys. Life is meant to be full of joy. Life is meant to be a blessing. You need to let your hair down every now and then and have a good time. But everything comes with boundaries. Everything comes with boundaries. So make sure that we are, first and foremost, making sure that we are drinking responsibly. Thank you so much for tuning in again. You guys, please be sure to share this video. And remember that I love referrals, but of course, I love you more. You guys take care. Have a wonderful weekend. Hopefully the weather holds out for us, and I will see you next Friday. Bye.